It stings, doesn't it? That feeling of pushing yourself, of facing a challenge head-on when every fiber of your being screams for comfort, for ease. Maybe it's the burning in your muscles during that extra rep, the quiet hours spent studying while friends are out having fun, or the vulnerability you feel pouring your heart into a project, a relationship, a dream. This discomfort, this feeling of now being difficult, is a universal human experience. We're wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, so naturally, when we choose to embrace the now that hurts, we question our sanity. We wonder if we're making the right choice, if the potential reward is truly worth the present struggle. Perhaps you're at a crossroads, staring down a path that demands more than you feel you have to give. It could be a career shift requiring you to learn new skills, a personal transformation urging you to confront old wounds, or a creative endeavor demanding relentless dedication. The voices of doubt are loud, whispering insidious suggestions. Give up, they say. It's too hard. You're not good enough. There's an easier way. And sometimes, those voices are so convincing that we almost believe them. We almost surrender to the allure of instant gratification, to the false promise of a life without discomfort. But deep down, a flicker of something else remains. A quiet knowing that whispers of a different truth. A truth that acknowledges the pain, the sacrifice, the sheer exhaustion, but also sees beyond it. It sees the potential for growth, for strength, for a life lived with purpose and meaning. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending that everything is always sunshine and rainbows. It's about acknowledging the reality of the present struggle while holding on to the vision of a brighter future. It's about understanding that the things truly worth having often require us to push beyond our comfort zones, to embrace the challenges that shape us into the people we're meant to be. This journey isn't about denying the difficulty, it's about reframing it. It's about understanding that the pain you feel now is not a punishment, but an investment. An investment in yourself, in your future, in the life you're striving to create. It's about recognizing that the discomfort is a sign of growth, a signal that you're stretching beyond your limitations and becoming stronger, more resilient, and more capable. It's about learning to trust the process, even when you can't see the outcome. We're not promising you a life without challenges. That's simply not realistic. What we are offering is a perspective shift, a way to navigate those challenges with greater clarity, courage, and conviction. We'll explore the psychological underpinnings of why we resist discomfort, how to cultivate resilience in the face of adversity, and practical strategies for staying motivated when the going gets tough. This is about empowering you to embrace the now that hurts, knowing that it's paving the way for a future that will be profoundly, undeniably worth it. To illustrate this principle, consider the story of Maria, a single mother who dreamed of opening her own bakery. She worked tirelessly at a diner during the day, saving every penny, and spent her nights experimenting with recipes, often sleeping only a few hours. Her friends and family urged her to reconsider, telling her it was too risky, too demanding, especially with a young child to care for. The initial months after opening were grueling. Long hours, unexpected equipment malfunctions, and the constant pressure of making payroll took their toll. There were days when she questioned her decision, when the exhaustion felt unbearable and the financial strain seemed insurmountable. However, Maria possessed an unshakable belief in her vision. She persevered, learning from her mistakes, adapting to the challenges, and pouring her heart into every cake and pastry she created. Slowly but surely, her bakery began to flourish. Word of her delicious treats and warm, inviting atmosphere spread throughout the community. Today, Maria's Sweet Delights is a beloved local institution, a testament to her unwavering dedication and the power of embracing the now that hurts. The psychological underpinnings of this resistance stem from several factors. One primary driver is what behavioral economics terms present bias, which is our innate inclination to favor immediate gratification over future rewards. This means we often undervalue the potential long-term benefits of enduring short-term discomfort. Another crucial layer is the fear of failure. Taking risks and pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones inherently involves the possibility of not succeeding. This fear can be paralyzing, leading us to avoid situations that might expose our vulnerabilities or challenge our self-perceptions. Closely related is loss aversion, the tendency to feel the pain of a loss more strongly than the pleasure of an equivalent gain. In other words, the potential downside of a challenging endeavor often looms larger in our minds than the potential upside. Now, consider how this applies when you face a challenging task at work, a difficult conversation with a loved one, or a personal goal that seems daunting. Are you focusing on the immediate discomfort, the potential for failure, or the sacrifices required? Or are you able to shift your perspective and see the bigger picture, the long-term benefits, the potential for growth and fulfillment? This requires a conscious effort to reframe your thinking, to challenge your negative assumptions, and to cultivate a mindset of resilience and perseverance. It is about seeing the struggle not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. Furthermore, building on this, it's worth considering the role of self-compassion. Often, when we experience setbacks or face challenges, we become overly critical of ourselves. We dwell on our perceived shortcomings, amplify our mistakes, and engage in negative self-talk. This only exacerbates the pain and makes it more difficult to persevere. Conversely, practicing self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a friend in a similar situation. It means acknowledging our imperfections, accepting our limitations, and offering ourselves encouragement and support. This doesn't mean excusing ourselves from accountability, but rather approaching our challenges with a more balanced and compassionate perspective. Reflecting on this journey thus far, we begin to perceive how individual struggles aren't isolated incidents, but rather tesserae in the grand mosaic of human experience. The discomfort we've discussed, that sharp sting of effort, isn't merely an obstacle to be avoided, but the very forge in which resilience is tempered. It's the friction that polishes the stone, revealing the gem within. The initial inclination to retreat, to seek the path of least resistance, is understandable, deeply ingrained within our psychological architecture. Yet, understanding the mechanisms driving that inclination, the allure of immediate gratification, the shadow of potential failure, allows us to consciously redirect our course. Consider, for a moment, the intricate dance of a seasoned climber scaling a sheer rock face. Each upward movement demands immense physical exertion, each handhold tested for stability, each decision fraught with potential peril. The climber isn't oblivious to the strain, the risk, the inherent discomfort. But these challenges are not deterrents. They are the very essence of the endeavor, the crucible in which skill, determination, and unwavering focus are honed. Similarly, in our own lives, the challenges we embrace, however daunting, become the stepping stones to greater heights. In light of these insights, the path forward appears less like a treacherous maze and more like a winding road leading to a vista of profound clarity. The tools we've touched upon, the reframing of discomfort, the cultivation of self-compassion, are not merely techniques to be deployed in times of crisis, but rather fundamental shifts in perspective that can reshape our entire approach to life. They are the lenses through which we can view challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. As we pivot towards the final reflection, let us consider the cumulative effect of these seemingly disparate ideas. They converge to form a powerful narrative, one that underscores the inherent human capacity for resilience, the transformative power of embracing discomfort, and the profound rewards that await those who dare to venture beyond their comfort zones. It's a narrative that celebrates the journey, not just the destination, and recognizes that the true measure of success lies not in the absence of struggle, but in the ability to navigate it with grace, courage, and unwavering self-belief. This isn't merely about achieving specific goals. It's about cultivating a mindset that allows us to thrive in the face of adversity, to find meaning in the midst of chaos, and to emerge from every challenge stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. Now, let's turn intention into action, transforming insight into tangible steps. We arm ourselves with practical tools, strategies rooted in psychological wisdom, designed to navigate the discomfort and fuel our forward momentum. First, embrace the power of micro-wins. Overwhelmed by a daunting goal? Break it down into smaller, manageable tasks. Each completed step, however small, releases dopamine, a neurochemical associated with reward and motivation. This creates a positive feedback loop, making the overall journey less intimidating and more achievable. It's about celebrating progress, not perfection. Next, cultivate a growth mindset, a concept pioneered by psychologist Carol Dweck. This involves viewing challenges not as fixed limitations, but as opportunities for learning and development. Instead of saying, "I'm not good at this," try reframing it as, "I'm not good at this yet." This subtle shift in language can have a profound impact on your motivation and resilience. Embrace the learning process, View mistakes as valuable feedback, and focus on continuous improvement, rather than solely on the end result. Furthermore, harness the power of mindfulness. When faced with discomfort or stress, take a few moments to pause, breathe deeply, and observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Mindfulness allows you to detach from the emotional intensity of the moment and respond with greater clarity and composure. There are countless apps and resources available to guide you through mindfulness exercises. Even just 5 minutes a day can make a significant difference. Building on this, let's incorporate cognitive restructuring, a technique used in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. This involves identifying and challenging negative or distorted thought patterns that contribute to anxiety and self-doubt. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'm going to fail," ask yourself, what evidence do I have to support this thought? What are some alternative perspectives? By challenging your negative thoughts and replacing them with more realistic and balanced ones, you can reduce your emotional distress and increase your confidence. Finally, remember the importance of self-care. Pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone is essential for growth, but it's equally important to prioritize your well-being. Make time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. This could include exercise, spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply taking a relaxing bath. Self-care is not a luxury. It's a necessity for sustaining your energy, motivation, and resilience over the long haul. Remember Maria, her small bakery not just a business but a testament to her perseverance. It's not about eliminating discomfort, but about cultivating the skills and strategies to navigate it effectively. These tools provide a roadmap, not a magic wand, to help transform the now that hurts into a future that thrives.